position, but only one out to work with. The last chance, and Rochester will have to get something on the board here in the first. Dealing, it's ripped over to short, handled well on the hop, slung over, 6-3, easy to end the first inning. They go down no runs, on one hit. We'll get back with the bottom of the first after this short break.
I don't know, I got him somewhere. I gotta do this stuff.
Leading up to the Tritons, left fielder number 11, Nick Boys.
And we're here. The Tritons half of the first. Rochester went quietly. Iowa Central. Reese is going to start off with Nick Boys. Good contact cut through the middle. He can be patient, and he's got a lot of speed once he does get on base. Prototypical leadoff man. Comes in from the left-handed batter's box. The first pitch. Takes it up around the letters. Ball 1-0. Fastball there, a lot of pop from Machino. Now Machino dealing the 1-0. That one catches the bottom right corner of the plate. Nick watches it go by. He'll draw a 1-1 count. Again, an important out here. Not only do you never want to allow the leadoff batter of any inning to get on, increases your chances of giving up a run exponentially there as Nick takes that one outside. You also definitely don't want to put a runner on with the speed of Boys. 2-1, we'll see what he does with it. It's over the heart of the plate, takes a big cut, misses the fastball, 2-2. Nothing wrong with having a cut there, up in the count. Got one to hit, just swung over top of it. 2-2, it's been all fastballs so far, and they'll keep going with the fastball. Grounded over to the first baseman, handled, flicked onto the pitcher, covering first. One down here in the bottom of the first. Now coming up, Diaz. He'll get on base 1 or 2 times a game. Can drive into the gap. A lot of power here in this Iowa Central lineup, and he'll definitely contribute a few home runs before this season is over. Here, Iowa Central trying to win its home opener. It's a bit of a crisp day. Now the wind blowing straight out from dead center, so a good day for a team with Iowa Central's tendencies. A lot of pop in the middle of this lineup. 0-0, the second batter of the Iowa Central inning here. That one misses the outside corner. 1-0. Fran Diaz here playing first base today. Takes this one outside. Working a good at-bat so far. Machino trying to find his location. He wasted a lot of pitches. And this one into the right center power alley. It's high, it's deep, it's carrying all the way back to the wall and over. A solo shot from Fran Diaz with one out in the top of the first. Iowa Central jumps on the board, and they do it with a bang. I told you they had a lot of pop. They didn't waste a lot of time showing it. So now Reese, 1 base hit, 1 run for Iowa Central, and it's a home run.
Big confidence builder there by Diaz. As you said, the first home game, the home opener for Iowa Central.
And
Looking for a quick start, and they got one.
And now Machino's really starting to struggle with his location. Almost worked a walk Boys did before he had to fight that 7th pitch over. And that one, he left right over the heart of the outside part of the plate. It was outside third, bell tie, and Diaz just rode that thing out of the ballpark.
Yeah.
And you can't say enough, that was opposite field, and it cleared that thing by about 10 feet. A lot of power. This one fouled out over the home dugout.
Iowa Central coming into their home opener 14-11, 4-4 in conference play.
How about this? He just gave up a home run. And now he's dealing with the 3-4-5 hitters. Calderon comes up. No less of a power threat than the 2 he just faced. Lets that one go at the knees. Umpire's going to say it was over the plate. 2-2. 1 down here. Iowa Central trying to maybe get some people on base here. Put up a crooked number here in the first, but got him way ahead of the breaking ball. Strike 3 in the dirt. They're going to make the easy play over to first. He'll retire. And now Central bases emptied out. Snooter coming up. One last chance here to maybe try to jump a bit more on the wound they've opened up. But for Machino, this is a big out. And he throws that hook over the inside corner, gets it to go, but they're going to say it was a bit low when it crossed. Ball 1. Machino with the delivery. This one, well, I'll tell you something, Reese, that one got a lot of the plate too. About the same location that Diaz jumped on, but this time, the speed, he gets away with it. Tad late on the swing. Snooter the DH, so DHing in the 4th spot, he's expected to produce. This one, pretty much identical location to the first pitch of the at-bat. Curveball misses the inside corner, 2-1. 2-1 now. The cleanup hitter ahead in the count. A beautiful pitch, paints the bottom of the plate. No reason to take a swing at that 2-1. Hope you see something more hittable than that. Just watch that one go by, 2-2. Snooter fouls that one off. Good protective swing. Machino just, well, Reese, one pitch away from getting out of this inning, but he's having to work for every at-bat.
He is, and what are you looking for here as Machino starts his windup?
I'm expecting a hook. Yep, a little bit of a wrinkle in it. Gets him early on it, but he fouls it off. But, sometimes that's the time to switch off because baseball logic says there you've thrown 2 straight fastballs in a row. He's kind of on top of it. So you have to throw the hook because he's on the fastball, but you also don't want him to know the hook is coming. So there's the mind game there. This one, fastball, letter high, fouled out. I think it's going to get out of bounds. Yep, out of play over down the right field line. So 2s all around, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming after 2 defensive swings from Snooter.
Great at bat by Snooter, just hanging in.
Oh, and this one.
Behind him.
I think he was hoping to get hit there. Still as a statue, trying not to get accused of leaning into it, but he was more than willing to take that breaking ball. 3-2. I think you could say he just missed the inside corner on that one.
Yeah.
This one brought up high up and a beautiful at-bat by Snooter. And how about that patience from the cleanup man? And, when you got a ton of power, the patience is important because it forces pitchers to pitch to you. If you're a power hitter but you have a reputation for swinging a little bit, you're not going to see near as much to hit. It's one of the things that separates a great power hitter from a guy who can hit a little bit but also bats .250 on top of all the home runs he hits. It's a great overall hitter that can add the walks to the power repertoire. And now, stepping up Arcina, and he's got a ton of power. Hits a ton, doesn't look like it, but there's a reason he's in the middle of the lineup. Runner on first. Diaz not traditionally pardon me, Calderon not traditionally a stealing threat, and this isn't really a situation to send him, so I'd expect him to keep that lead modest. They're going to check on him, though. Safe and pardon me. Tried the name game twice and missed. It's Snooter over there. I remember where I'm at. 1-0. The pitch coming in. It's hittable. Takes a rip at it. I think he was thinking about an RBI or two right there. And no reason not to have it. Most of the time with a lineup like this, you let the guys in the middle of the lineup have a cut or two every at bat. Find when you can hit and see if you can't drive it somewhere, but that one just gets under it. The 1-1 pitch. He stays on pattern, gets the hook to go. It looked to me like it might have caught that outside corner, but the official lets it go by for a ball. 2-1. So now if he's maintaining form, if he's maintaining what he's done following that pitch every time so far, it'll be a fastball on the inside part of the plate. We'll see if he mixes up. Lets it high. That's where they're setting up. Misses the location on it. Now it's 3-1 to the 5-hole hitter, working himself into trouble again.
Now what should Arizona be looking for here in a 3-1 count?
3-1 count. I think he has to go heater again, because he's going to be sitting on that curveball if you throw it again. That's what I'm looking for, 3-1. And there, he misses low with it. Fastball in the dirt, and now with 2 outs, Iowa Central with a little bit of something working.
Yeah.
Felix Martinez up, playing center field this evening, and a chance. A single, you'd figure, especially with as big as this park is and as deep as the outfielders are playing, you'd figure a single's going to score that runner from second. A double might score him from first.
Center fielder, number 13, Felix Martinez.
So a big spot here for Martinez early in this game. Chance to go up by a couple after the solo shot.
Just a little bit outside there.
And the official hasn't been helping him out on that outside corner. Doesn't look like he's going to get that call today, so he's going to have to mix up that. Because what you really can't do is start to leave that farther and farther inside. 1-0. Started this out with a fastball. Goes again, but this one in the dirt. He's struggling early. 2-0, and again he's falling behind a batter. And you know, it's an uphill climb once you start doing that. It's already a tough lineup to navigate. It's tougher when you help them. 2-0, 2 down. Runners on first and second. Snooter on second. Gets his lead. Is checked. Oh, and it was letter high, and it looked pretty to a batter. Probably would have been a ball if he had taken it, but it's hard to lay off one up in your eyes. 2-1. Took a big hack at that one.
He wanted some RBIs.
Arcina on first, Snooter on second. This one up, and he leaves that one.
Another 3-1 count for Machino here.
So again, he's getting himself into trouble. 3-1, but this time with ducks on the pond and one in scoring position.
So now if he walks him, the bases will be loaded.
And now 3-1, you're sitting on one pitch, and if you get it, you're looking to drive it somewhere.
Nolan Monty on deck.
3-1, and it is right where he wanted it.
Fouled straight back.
Belt high over the plate. He has a big rip, but fouls it. So now the at-bat gets a bit more competitive. 3-2. He's had him jumping out at that fastball a bit. He just took 2 big cuts. So change up curveball inside, you thinking? Let's see what he sets up with. Time called, playing the mental game here. Martinez has worked a beautiful at-bat so far. Count is juiced. There's a runner at second waiting to be batted in. One on first behind him.
Gonna set up outside.
Working to Martinez. They go down and away and miss.
It was a great pitch.
So the bases are now juiced.
And that's 3 straight walks to load him.
In front of Franco. So now, every at-bat, trying to work a little bit of magic with 2 outs, Iowa Central. Nick Boys got himself out to start the first. Diaz homered, solo shot over it, and since then, 4 straight Tritons have found their way on base between hits and walks. 3 walks. Struggling to find his command earlier, Machino.
Spencer Franco.
He's put himself up on the ropes. Franco could be the knockout punch.
And how much of his confidence do you think came out the window with that homer by Diaz?
And you can see the confidence start to drop a little bit after it, and there
Oh,
puts a wrinkle in it, and the official's not helping him on the inside or outside.
what
If
a pitch.
he wants out of it, he's going to have to pitch his way out of it. 1-0. Again, bases loaded here. That one over the heart of the plate. Looked like a little bit of a cut action fastball away. And 1-1. Well, you asked the confidence. One thing that showed confidence, the confidence dropping, is he's honestly went to that curveball a bit more in situations where he's looking for a sure strike, which tells me he's maybe lost a little bit of faith in that heater here early.
Low again, 2-1.
And you know that might be one of the reasons he's starting to lose faith in it. He misses with it again, 2-1, and now he's fallen behind his 4th straight batter that he's had to pitch 2-1, and this time the bases are loaded. And he lets that one go up around the belt.
Maybe a little high.
Yep, gonna call it high. 3-1.
3-1 again.
And the higher you go up in the levels, the more that strike zone starts to shrink up above the belt area.
As a Rochester bullpen member starts to get up
So
in
now
their bullpen.
Franco should be able to have a hack at this one if it's close, and he will. Takes a big cut at it. Works himself 3-2. And you can see that they've all been narrow misses, but when you have to throw that 3-1 pitch, you know that the batter's looking to take someone's head off with it. But now 3-2. He has a few more options. Now he'll have to be looking fastball, thinking. Gets it up. It was inside under his hands. Fouls it straight back. (3-2). That one was tight. He took a swing at it. Would have been an interesting call if he had let it go. The official hasn't given that spot all day. 3-2, but it was hanging around the strike zone. We'll see what Machino pulls out of the bag. Oh, gets him out ahead of it. Change up to end the inning. 3-2 count with the bases loaded, but he does work his way out of it. So after all that work he had to do and all the trouble he got himself in, still pitches his way out of trouble. Only gives up 1 run. We'll be back here at the top of the first after this short break on the Triton Nation Network.
Leading out the Yellow Jackets second. Right fielder number 18, Ross Whittington.
So now after a first inning where he got out clean, Grinnell trying to establish a little bit of momentum. It's nice to get off to a good start, and this one grounded over a quick start. First pitch of the inning, over to third. Whipped over, good play, 5-3. So how about that for working quickly? 1 pitch, 1 out. Aracena there, able to gather that in, make the routine play.
Number 12, Garrett Zander.
You know, it's the mean thing about baseball. Those routine plays are always called routine until you mess them up. Sometimes people forget that you have to go and do them over and over and over again, but makes the easy play look easy. We get that first out. 1-0 after the bounce out. Working to Zander. Gets that first pitch. Attacking it early. Grinnell able to get himself up ahead in most of the at-bats he's had so far. We saw the importance of that. Machino struggling early in counts. got himself into a lot of trouble. Again, Iowa Central scored 1 in the bottom of the first, just a half inning ago. He got the strikeout, but then he gave up the homer to Diaz. Oh, gets him way out ahead of the breaking ball. 1-2. Mixing up levels, mixing up everything here. He's worked inside, he's worked outside, he's worked fast, he's worked soft. So now he's got his entire pitch arsenal to pick from. Fastball inside, yanked over the home dugout.
Rochester's contact has all been on the ground against Grinnell so far.
He throws with a lot of movement, and that'll get you.
He led off with a K, an infield single.
This one hooked down the left field line. It looks like it's playable over and left. He's going to camp under it. Has to go a ways, but he has a bit of time to camp under that sky ball. 2 down.
That's the first time the outfielders have gotten work out there.
The catcher, number 23, Ted Elsner.
Yep, Nick Boys gets to that routine fly ball. And now Elsner, the catcher this evening, gets one hittable, and that one was left over the center of the plate, and it might be 2. He's rounding first. He's going for it. He'll be up easy there. As he cruises into second, Boys will get this throw in, but not before a 2-out double.
What a shot down the line by Elsner.
And while that pitch was a bad combination, it was the first breaking ball he's mislocated. He put that thing right over the heart of the plate and able to drive it into left. So he got through the first inning without many control problems. That one's really the first mistake pitch he's left out over the heart of the plate, but now he'll have to work around it. And there, the same pitch. He goes right back to the hook, but this time he locates it well. 0-1. How about the confidence, though? You give up the base hit on the 0-0 hook, and you go right back to the curve. So now 0-1, working ahead again. Oh, 0-2.
Nice
2 in a row. And you have to figure that after this inning, what the coach is going to say is they all have to do what Elsner just did, because he's throwing strikes over the plate every first pitch. Eventually, they're going to have to start taking a hack and not getting behind. Forcing him to swing 0-0. This one, high, they're going to say, up around the letters. 1-2. So, tying run here early in this game on second base. A 1-2 count. Looking for the K to end the inning. He deals. Oh, that one right back at him off the knee. And that's going to be a lot of pain. They're just going to have to eat this. It's going to be a single it's going to be a single right back up the middle. Right off of Grinnell's right knee. He is favoring it a bit. It sounded nasty. It was a hollow thud. And as they do come out and check on him, he did react in an awful lot of pain, as it probably hurt an awful lot, but it also probably scared him more than anything if he does end up coming back in. Was a frightening rocket back up the middle, coming off of a fastball down and in. He will continue to pitch this, but it'll take a few pitches just to see how he looks, and we'll see. The plant foot, it is the plant foot that he's dealing with. He got pegged in the right. And Reese, what that might do, if that right leg is in any kind of pain, is you might see pitches start to float high, because it's harder to get low and drive and follow through when that plant leg is hurting. And what you really, he also did it with 2 outs, which might actually be worse if that might sound weird, but you have to think if he does get this out, he does have to go sit and let that thing tighten up. They've got a lot of pop, low and right over the middle. A good pitch. Misses it low, but not a bad spot, 0-0. So now 1-0, runners on the corners. That lead run just 90 feet away. Pardon me, tying run. Lead run's on first, and they check him. Not even close, but we'll keep the runner honest. 1-0. Here to the 9-hitter Miller. Now slung back over. Now Reese, he either doesn't like the look of the lead over there by Barron, or he might be trying to buy himself a little bit of extra time for blood to start getting running through that leg.
step off here.
Stepping off, and, well, he didn't take an awful lot of time after getting hit to get back on the mound. 1-0, needs a strike here. Won't be able to find it, low and out. 2-0. Very much a hitter's zone. 2-0. Miller trying to work a good at-bat. This one, breaking ball misses low. 3-0, and Miller now will be taking all the way because you have to figure his goal for this, even if he couldn't get that RBI, he is the 9-hole hitter. His goal for this at-bat, if he can just load the bases up for the big boys at the top of the order, he'll take that every day. This one gets ahead early on that. And how about that faith? Letting him swing 3-0. It was probably the prettiest pitch to hit he's going to see all at bat. Left centrally located. Takes a big hack at it, but he pulls it down that right field line. So now 3-1, and, well, you figure Miller's going to be the softest at bat he gets all day with the top of the order coming as he looks third, checks first. Nothing going. So you have to figure he wants to attack Miller because he would much rather pitch to Miller, even 3-1, than to face the top again. This one dealt, and it's popped up over to right, tracking it back. It's going to be playable around the track, and yes, missing by feet.
Right up against the wall.
And I take it back. Maybe they didn't want to pitch to him. Makes everyone in the stadium collect their breath, but able to track that down Calderon with his back pressed up against the wall. Iowa Central avoids disaster, but they go into their half of the second, up 2-0. We'll be right back on the Triton Nation Network. And now back here with the Tritons half of the second. Monty will come up, and, well, the good news for Machino is he has 3 strikeouts on the evening. The bad news is a sandwich between a solo home run and 3 walks. So he'll have to find his control here. Hasn't been a good day to not have control. It's been called a pretty much all the way through as a hitter's strike zone, squeezing the edges.
And the bad thing for Machino today, he's been getting behind in counts.
And here he is again, down 2-0. Leaves that one up and in. But again, neither pitcher really getting any help from the head official. It's been a very tight zone, called all the way through. So Machino dealing, trying to get a strike over, low and out. He's down 3-0. And Monty, the shortstop, good set of wheels on him. If he gets on, he could be a problem for the rest of the inning. 3-0, takes it over the outside part of the plate, 3-1. Now 3-1, look for him to have a cut if it's close. Monty trying not to leave anything too pretty to hit. He'll leave it up around the letters. And his 4th walk of the day here early in the second. And, you know, a couple things that walks are the traditional thing that everybody looks at and goes, that's a lack of control. But that home run was a control problem too. He left a changeup right over the outside part of the plate, belt high, and it was just ripped out of the ballpark. So every mistake he's had has been punished either by a taken ball or by a big cut by Diaz. So now the leadoff man is on, and he is a threat to steal. He'll stay at home, and pitch is going to be brought over the outside third of the plate for a strike. 0-1. They'll have to keep a close eye on him because they have the advantage early, and they might want to press it. I don't see any reason not to think about sending him during this at-bat. This one up. 1-1. That being said, we haven't seen Elsner behind the plate, what kind of arm he has available to him. So it might get tested this inning. Monty taking a respectable lead out, and they're going to check him. He was getting a bit close, and he just beats the throwback. And you got to figure that's about as far as he's going to let himself get off the bag, because that was close enough. 1-1. Monty working the lead. Dylan to Gosner. This one just starts high and out and just stays there. 2-1 again, he's down. Gosner, and if you look at this, how about this? For the last last 4 batters he's faced, 3 of them have worked the count full. This one high and out. He's 3-1 again. And this would be a huge, if he could draw a walk or find a base hit here, Iowa Central's got a rally starting in the second. Machino was able to get himself out of the first, only giving up 1 run. He'll bring this one over the inside part of the plate. Good fastball, good pop on the inside. Paints the black 3-2.
And Machino's gotten behind 7 of the 9 first batters that he's faced today.
It's not a recipe for success. He was able to pitch his way out of trouble last time and only give up the 1. But now he's getting himself in trouble early. Caught him leaning, but he gets back in time. Monty not being shy about his intentions over there. 3-2, and the lead won't get any smaller. Now would be a good count to send him if they want to. And they will. It's a rip. The hit and run is on, and he's going to stroll back over to first.
He lost it.
Oh,
Drops.
A mistake on the infield fly, an error by the third baseman, Baran, and there's no excuse for it. It got up in the jet stream, and on windy days, infield flies are a problem, but there's still a play that you're expected to make. And now Iowa Central, the walk in the air. He's going to bring up Nick Boyes. Boyes up. Runners on first and second. After what I think if I was scoring, you have to call it an error on the infield fly. No one got close to it, but that's whipped around. Misses the inside corner, and again he's down. 1-0. Boyes, type of guy that can add to this rally. There's a lot of speed on base right now. 2 good runners. If he can put the ball in play. Oh, he takes a big left-handed cut. Catcher's going to have a look, but it's going to go foul into the crowd. 1-1.
Last inning there was someone up in the Rochester bullpen. He has soon sat down.
And I think it's about time to take a look. But then again, we haven't got to see a lot of Rochester. I don't know what games they have coming up, and I don't know how much they've used. And now a wild pitch, and both runners are going to advance second and third. So the rich keep getting richer, and the bad inning starts to spiral. He's down 2-1 now with 2 runners in scoring position. But what I was going to say is, I would say that now would be the time if you were just thinking about winning this game to maybe start reaching in. But then again, I don't know who Rochester has to face from now on, and I don't know how many pitchers or how much that they've asked of their relievers in the last few days. It might be a situation where you just simply don't have the resources to start dipping into your bullpen this early.
Now it's 3-1 on boys with Fran Diaz, who homered his first time on deck.
Boy's a good contact hitter. He likes to go middle, and he likes to pull into the right field area. So they leave this over the heart of the plate. Takes a big hack. Goes down 3-2.
A lot of full counts today. Pitch count.
And you can see Boys tried to elevate that one. You can hear, at least we can, I don't know if it comes over broadcast, but you can hear the wind now. Howling dead center. It's going out. Gets a hold of it, bounce foul. So if he could get one up, it is blowing out into that right center area. So what he's trying to do, he likes to elevate him. If he can get one up into that jet stream, it will carry a ways.
And that's exactly where Diaz homer went, right center.
Yep. And it's where the near miss at the end of the first inning by the 9-hole hitter from Rochester. This one over the heart of the plate, but high.
And they're loaded for Diaz.
Let's go, friend.
So how about this? A team that's known for its power. It's something that Coach Meyer has bragged up the power hitting all the way through. But how about the patience this evening?
By Fran Diaz.
Let's go, Cinco.
So Boys draws a walk, and that'll be the, let's see, 3, 4, 5th walk of the evening. Diaz comes up fresh off of a solo shot in the first. He got it up in that slipstream into right center, carried it over the 360 sign.
And Machina's pitch count has to be getting up there.
And now with the wind blowing out, a runner on third, and a rally here going, you got to figure the last thing he wants to do is hit a ball on the ground. So he's going to be looking for an elevated pitch.
Diaz calls time.
Good idea, friend.
But the good news is, Machino has been missing high all evening. So he might leave one up. This pitch, and you could see, that didn't, if you just look at how much it missed the zone by, that doesn't look like a huge miss, but the catcher was setting up down and away. That thing came up high and in. Totally missing the spot, and he struggled all day. Diaz trying to compound his problems. This one he leaves. Smart hitting. It was hittable, but it would have been a tough ball to get a bat on, and it's much better at this point just to wait and see what he'll give you later in the at-bat.
And Machina's been missing all day.
Make him throw as many pitches as possible. He's had control. This one high. Up around the chin. 2-1. No relief in sight either. Still the pen stays silent. The 2-1 pitch. He thought about having a hack. He's up in the count, but I would say his brain caught his instincts just in time right there. 3-1. Now if he wants to have a rip at one, he'll get away with it. 3-1, Diaz up. He homered on a 3-1 count in the first.
Here's a 3-1 count right here.
Lets it go. A great at-bat by Diaz, and he's going to get an RBI. Maybe not in the most glamorous way, but it'll go on the sheet. 2-0 after a fantastic at-bat from Diaz. And like we mentioned, I would have to guess that what happened is their bullpen has to be tapped out. Otherwise, they would have someone up right now. But I figure that they probably have a place in their bullpen where not only were they not planning to use someone until later, they might only have 2 or 3 bullpen guys ready to go. But
and that'll be it for Machino. They actually had someone in the pen, took him down. I guess he was ready.
yeah, he only threw 3 or 4 pitches. So he was only warming up for about 1 batter. So I thought that they had warmed him up and then thought better of it, but no. Apparently they warmed him up and now they're going to bring him in.
So coming in is number 11, Jacob Fletcher.
And he is going to inherit a problem. Come in well. It would be hard to imagine a worse situation you could ask your reliever to get out of. Bases are juiced.
Already one in, nobody out.
Calderon coming up. He did strike out swinging at a bouncing pitch in the dirt and then was thrown out to complete the play over at first. So one of the few Tritons that didn't reach base in that first. Fletcher appears to be working behind his fastball curveball. Looks like his hook is almost Reese, somewhere in that gray area between curveball and slider. does break down, but it breaks more side to side than down. A lot of bite on it. Decent pop on the fastball, so we'll see what happens when he's done warming up. We'll take about a 30-second break on the Triton Nation Network.
Right fielder Stephen Calderon.
Don't close it on until the last guy on the base is got it.
Well, the first
So now working 0-1. Fletcher, newly entered. Machino went 1 inning, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, and he is responsible. 2 runs, both of them earned, and is responsible for all of the runners in the current situation. None of them reached on errors. He only gave up 2 hits, but that's because he gave up 6 walks. Not a lot of need to swing the bat from the Tritons. And now he's dealing with Calderon. Calderon struck out swinging in the first. This one goes down and away, and he takes a walk on 4 pitches to drive in the run. Iowa Central going to go up 3-0 here. And, well, after their starter got bit by the walk bug, it doesn't seem like any relief is on the way. Fletcher is now going to have to deal with Snoocher. So add another earned run to Machino's day as Fletcher tries to work his way out of this. Takes that one right down the middle. Pardon me, they're going to say it was a bit high. 1-0. This pitch coming in. Ripped over into the gap. Past an outstretched shortstop. One is going to score. Boyce is going to score, and they're going to hold. They're going to hold at third in a good decision. The throw might not have been on time over there from the left center area. I believe it was the center fielder that ended up picking that up. But either way, you don't want to get the first or last out at the plate. Let the rally develop. So Boyce scores, and Iowa Central goes up 4-0.
Third baseman Junior Aracena.
So Snooter with the RBI. Aracena now coming up with RBI opportunities of his own. Aracena takes that one belt high and paints the outside corner. 0-1.
And still nobody out in this inning.
So now the 0-1 pitch.
Oh, a lot of movement on that pitch.
Like we mentioned.
So close
That
on the outside corner.
It's thrown with the speed of a curveball, but it does have a little bit of a slider action. It doesn't break much down, but left to right it sweeps. Bit of an unorthodox hook he has, but it was good. There, just missed the spot. This one down in the dirt, 2-1. Doesn't make the officials' job easy.
Let's go, LJ.
The 2-1 pitch again. Rochester behind in the count. This one
Pop
swung on, popped straight up. Second baseman is calling it off. He's going to control that in.
And that's only the first out in the inning.
And it might seem like nothing. It was a routine play, but a big play there from Miller. They needed something to go right. Steps up and fields that. One down, bases juiced.
Center fielder Felix Martinez.
And Martinez comes up. He walked in his first, didn't they all?
Seemed like it.
And now that hook leaves it outside. That one was almost a wild pitch. That pitch has a lot of movement going from the left side of your screen to the right. And that one, he accidentally started off the outside of the plate anyway. Catcher had to chase that one. 1-0. And there, good, firm fastball at the knees. 1-1. Iowa Central already scored 3 in this inning. And this one chases itself out, too. Unable to control the hook there. 1-2. Pardon me, 2-1. 2-1, and now you figure he's going to have to throw something straight, try to get back in this count. He does, but he misses down and away. 3-1. And now a beautiful situation. If he decides that if he can work himself into a walk, it's an RBI. And if he gets something to hit, it could be 2 or 3. The 3-1 here. And it chases it outside. Ball is dead on the walk. The runner will score.
And that is the last runner that Machino put on, so that run will go to Machino. The next runner, if the next runner scores, that'll go to Fletcher.
So Machino takes all 5 earned runs.
Go, Frank.
Now Franco. 0-0 count. Takes that one. Down and away. Catches the corner for a strike. 0-1. Franco got caught. Pardon me. Struck out swinging in the first. This one over the heart of the plate. Gets caught swinging at the glove.
Battle, Frank, battle.
0-2. Now Franco.
Monty on deck, who started the inning.
So close to batting around are the Tritons, but first it's going to have to be Franco. And it would really help if he could make some contact here. Take advantage of the last batter that Iowa Central is going to have. Having a runner on third with 1 out and having a runner on third with 2 outs are almost completely different worlds. So we'd really like to get one up in the air, see if he can sack one in, worst case scenario. 2-0 to Franco. Pardon me, 1-2. Takes that one out, 2-2, so he's worked his way right back into this count. Franco awaits the pitch. Runners take their leads, and this one's high and in, 3-2. So he had him down 0-2, and he's let him off the hook. He's walked all the way back to 3-2, and now the payoff pitch is on its way.
And that's hard on a pitcher, allowing the hitter to get the best of you.
Franco waiting. The 3-2 is swung at and missed. It's pretty centrally located. A good pitch to take a hack at, but he just misses it. He'll go down swinging for the second time of the day. And now walking up is Monty.
Nolan Monty.
And of course, he walked to start this inning.
Yep. Little Monty, the 8-hitter. Iowa Central's last chance to try to do even more damage here with the bases loaded. This one right down the middle takes a big cut over it. 0-1. There's a good changeup down in the zone. Got him to swing over it.
Big boy.
Maybe the best located pitch he's thrown all day. Has a big cut on the outside fastball, 0-2. That one he might have caught himself chasing a little bit. Something you don't have to do against a pitcher who's maybe lost a bit of control, but he saw that up in his wheelhouse, didn't really care that it was a bit outside, tried to drive a couple RBIs in with 1 swing, but now it will be working from behind. This one down. 1-2 after the pitch in the dirt, trying to get him to chase a bit.
So Fletcher came in, allowed all 3 of the runs that Machino put on, but he hasn't got banged up yet for the ones he's put on. He's trying to end this inning right here.
The 1-2 is taken. They'll get him looking on the outside corner with the fastball, so the scoring threat will end, but not before Iowa Central scores 4 on, I believe it was 3 hits. Yep, 4 runs on 3 hits and 1 walk. But now we'll go to Rochester's top of the 3rd. They have a lot of work to do, down by 5. We'll be right back on the Triton Nation Network.
Leading up the Yellow Jackets third, shortstop Cam Rutledge.
And right back here at the top of the third, Rutledge is going to be leading off. Grinnell still hasn't really been in much trouble. He's given up 3 hits. This one grounded over. And for the second time in 2 innings, Iowa Central gets an out on the first pitch. Nice pitch by Grinnell, attacking early in the count. First pitch there, out and over, and that's exactly what a pitcher wants. As I was mentioning before, the first 2 innings, he did give up 3 hits, but he's only faced 1 batter with a runner in scoring position. He's kept himself pretty safe. He's been hitting that stride. We'll see if he can keep that momentum going. And there he starts off this batter with a strike. 0-1, and they're going to have to start attacking that first pitch a bit more. It's not what you traditionally want to do, but he's challenging you. This one, change up, gets him out ahead of it. Cue balls it off the top of the bat. And how about that? Got him so early on it, he hits it the other way off the tip of his bat. Fooled him completely. Iowa Central now, in 3 pitches, got 2 outs. So trying to cruise through and work a very quick top of the third is Grinnell.
First baseman Mitch Thomas.
Thomas up, and he's going to try to stop you don't want the opposing pitcher to get too much into a rhythm, even if he is kind of shutting you out. If you can't score, you want to at least challenge, and now it's going to be over. Oh, off the sliding attempt, it's going to be a base hit. It's going to be an infield single. So they're not going to go 1, 2, 3, but still, that was only 2 pitches. He has a chance, if he can work quickly to this next guy, to keep that pitch count very low for this inning. After the single by Thomas, it's going to be Hennessy.
Center fielder Aaron Hohensee.
Go, Z.
Now Hohensee coming up, and this is a big at-bat. You kind of get the feeling that they need to at least get something going in this inning. After being railroaded, Iowa Central batted around in the last inning, scored 4, so you have to feel like they don't want to put that offense out right away while they're still feeling it. They would really like to get something of their own going here to try to answer a bit. Hohensee takes that one inside and low around the shins. 1-1. Oh, pardon me, 2-0 as that one chases it off. This pitch coming over. Gets him digging down for it. He chased that one out of the zone, and now it's going to be a fly ball. Someone's got to answer it, and it's going to drop. And then the throw into second isn't going to go, so he's going to go over to second.
Hey, Z, go right at him now, Zach. Go right at him.
He's going to get scored a double on, well, you could argue that that's a mental error. That ball hung in the air forever. No one able to go over and claim it as their own. And now Iowa Central in a spot of trouble here.
And as we said before, the wind going out towards right center, and that's exactly where that ball was placed.
And it was a bit of a weird situation. I think that was playable. That was playable by the second baseman. It was playable by the right fielder, and it was playable by center. And I think every one of them looked at it and said it wasn't me until the wind started blowing. It ended up being almost perfectly spaced in between them, and they all let it go. So 2-0 after the double.
Oh, and that curveball drops in for a strike.
And he has to work ahead quickly. And it's a rough break for Grinnell because that is going to go down as his responsibility because it's not technically an error. But it was an awful solid contact he just gave up the double on. This one ripped over, not playable by Boys. It's going to drop in front of him. He's going to have to come up firing. He does. The run coming to the plate. The throw is not going to be in time. And just like that, they're back in this ball game.
And on the throw, Withington heads to second. And as you said, they answered.
So how about that? One unfortunate play with the wind up, like we mentioned before, Grinnell was on his way to having a smooth top of the third. He retired the first 2 batters in 3 innings. Then he gives up the single off of a little, this is just to exemplify how much he's maybe run into a touch of bad luck here. He gives up the single over to first, and it's an infield single on a sliding play that his first baseman almost made. Then he gives up a double on a play that, well, you won't see it again today. That ball hung in the hung up for a long time. None of his fielders able to get under it. So then that gives up the double, and then the only solid contact he gives up all inning, cost him 2 runs. Now he'll have to work his way out of it. Runner on second, in scoring position, trying to get this game within 2. Grinnell leaves that hook up and over the plate, but they're going to say it was too high, never dropped back into the zone. 1-0. Grinnell now trying to limit the damage. Breaking ball in the dirt, 2-0. So now,
Tough, so you be aggressive.
so now Grinnell working to Xander. Behind him is Elsner and Boren. Does have a base free, but he's not going to need it. This one popped up into shallow center. Everyone tracking it down. And finally, this time, taking control of the fly ball is Martinez. So he'll chase that down. Had a long way to run, but he'll end the inning. And Iowa Central will get out of it with minimal damage. They give up 2. We'll be back with the bottom of the 3rd after this short break on the Triton Nation Network. After this half inning, try it. Just be careful that HDMI stays like chicken there because we got problems with it.
Leading off Titans third, catcher Dylan Gansner.
Let's go, DJ.
So now Gassner, the 9-hitter, comes up after Iowa Central batted around in the top of the 3rd. Now they still do have a bit of work to do, though. Closing the gap was Rochester in the bottom of the 3rd. Pardon me, in the top of the 3rd, getting itself 2 runs back off of a little bit of good luck and 1 single. Just like that, they've tightened the game, and that's what's so interesting about baseball. You always have to be on your toes because you're always a bloop and a blast away from doing some serious damage. Fletcher 1-1 here. Working to Gassner. Gassner, left-handed batter, stands right on top of that plate, forces the pitcher to pitch to him. And usually what that signals is he's a guy that likes to get those arms extended, doesn't like to be jammed. So he really challenges those pitchers. He doesn't leave much room on the inside part of the plate for them to aim at. This one high up. 3-1, up around the letters. And again, digs in, towing that inside line. 3-1, he's going to have to throw a pitch to him. Does. He paints the outside black with a fastball. 3-2.
Let's go, battle.
The official, you can see umpire in these last couple innings, giving a bit more room off that outside corner than he did in the first. And this one, ooh, it looked like an identical spot. Pitcher was getting ready to lean back and celebrate the strikeout, but instead, I'm going to give him the walk. So the inside part of the plate's been very consistent, and so have high and low away, but it's been hard to try to gauge how much they're going to get away with on that outside corner about belt high.
And that's the 3rd walk that Fletcher's given up.
9th for Rochester as a team, as a whole, correct?
Yes.
So now Nick Boyce comes up, and he'll take a walk, and if you leave one over the plate, he's more than willing to try to find a gap with it.
Machino, the starting pitcher.
Lets that one go, and you can see there. Again, that's a semi-hittable pitch, but Boyce, the way that this game has been going, reading the terrain, knowing that the longer that he lets this go on, the more long at-bats have been able to benefit batters so far today. Fletcher now, 1-1. He looks over at the runner. Leaves that changeup high. 2-1, and that's the last place you want to miss with that. He's almost lucky he missed by that much. Two to 5 here. Iowa Central working in the bottom of the 3rd. This one Just didn't follow through with it. Stays high and out all the way through. It's 3-1. And now we've seen Boyce has been 3-1, twice today. Pardon me, he was 2-1 in the first. More than willing to take a cut in this situation. So if something is left over the middle of the plate, expect him to take one. And there, up around the hands. That was around the belt area. Tight call. But again, the umpire's been squeezing it all day for both sides. But it has not been a pitcher's evening.
And now back-to-back walks for Fletcher to start his first full inning as he came in to relieve Machino last inning.
Yeah, no one's batting average is going to get padded today, but the on-base percentage is going to find itself a little bit of help. Speaking of that, here's someone who's helped both a home run and a base on balls so far for Diaz. And now he walks up and takes the first ball.
So Boys took the 10th walk of the day by Rochester.
Diaz, as we mentioned before, he homered in the first, walked in the second. Takes a big cut at it. It's skied up over the first baseman's head. Should be routine, but he misses it. Can't track it down. It's going to be an error, and they're going to catch Boys. Yeah, so advancing. I don't believe they called an infield fly. Nope, infield fly rule called, so runners are going to stay at the corners. Batter is out. I didn't hear the vocal call. So Boys stays on. And the runner does advance. So, after that, it was very crucial that was called. Otherwise, the runner at second would have been called out. But they did make the right call, make the infield fly rule. Now 0-1 with runners on the corners, and the first one is skied. Maybe a bit over-aggressive here in this situation. And now that wind moving the ball around a ton, but able to track it down and make the diving effort. That was boring. So now 2 down. Calderon was a bit aggressive there early in the count. With a runner on third, maybe you'd like him to be a bit more picky, but he always likes his chance of swinging. So Snoocher comes up, and he's walked and singled.
Another chance for an RBI here for Snoocher with 2 outs.
Ripped an RBI right past the shortstop last time up. Lets that one go. It's called a strike on the inside part of the plate. Still runners on the corners. Iowa Central's last chance to try to get something out of an inning that until 2 swings ago looked like they might have a rally going. Now just trying to sneak one across. Lets this one go outside. Trying to frame it as the catcher. Official not fooled. 2-0. And here to take the 2-0 Snoocher. Worked both counts so far. Seems to like deep count hitting, and he takes this one.
And
Yep, caught him. I don't know if it got jersey or the inside of the arm, but either way, snuck its way past the elbow, and you could hear contact. So now bases juiced after the hit by pitch. Arcina, pardon me.
0 for 1 with a pop out to second. Also walked.
Yep, so Arcina. This one chases him up. Middle of this lineup. The 5-hole hitter comes up with the bases loaded with 2 outs. Arcina. A key at bat here, trying to extend this Tritons lead. Iowa Central jumped up. They jumped up 5-0. Rochester got a couple back. Now Iowa Central trying to stretch this lead back to where it was. It's going to come down to Arcina, though. And this one takes an ill-advised cut off of a pitch that was clearly inside. Gets caught chasing 1-2. And, you know, sometimes that breaking ball, it was a changeup on the inside. It can trick the batter into swing at the inside pitch just because it hangs up that extra bit longer. And if you can get around it, it feels really good to make contact with it. But every now and again, you're just going to swing through it. Lets that one go low, 2-2. If this ball is put on the ground, a lot of speed on the bags for Iowa Central. Speed that could maybe break up a potential force out. And this one ripped over to short. If it's handled well, nope. Goes right through the 5-hole, and that's going to cost 2. It's going to cost 2, and the runners are going to move up to first and third, as sliding into third is Snooter. So the air on the ball through the legs is going to make Iowa Central, well, it's going to put them in a much better position now. They go up 7-2. Runners on the corners now.
Center fielder Felix Martinez.
And Martinez comes up. Martinez has walked twice. Takes that first one high. Fastball, they were looking to challenge him, but they miss. 1-0. And now Iowa Central maybe starting to put, if they can put a couple runs on here, if they can keep this 2-out rally running, what they're looking to do is maybe take advantage of this. You know, in a game where you're supposed to play 14 innings, and it's a long, long season, so any game that you can shorten helps you in the long run. So if they can jump out, maybe get themselves in an area where they can start thinking about a mercy rule with a couple swings of the bat here. Won't be this inning, but a couple innings down the line, they could save themselves. A few relievers, maybe. 3-0. So now the 3-0 count. Critical at bat here. This one, he saw a changeup and he saw it in an area he liked. Jumped on it a bit early. Now he'll have to pitch to him again, though. 3-1. How about giving him the green light? They seem to trust all the batters in the middle of this lineup, and now working down to Martinez. Lets this one go, and he's smart enough to take the walk. A great at-bat by Martinez. Iowa Central has had a next-man-up mentality. They've been willing to set up their teammates. Do your job, get on base, and then see what the guy behind you can do. Keep it rolling. Franco's going to come up.
And that's 11 total walks.
Franco, the only Triton so far today that hasn't reached base. 2 strikeouts. But he could make those first couple at-bats disappear with one here as the bases are loaded. Working to Franco. 1-0 is Fletcher. This one has a little bit of a wrinkle in it, and they get him under it. This one calling it off, and finally, now the team. How about this? The teams combined so far are 1 for 4 on infield fly balls. So finally, one gets corralled easily. Iowa Central gets retired, but not before putting up 7 runs on 2 hits. So we'll be right back with the top half of the 4th after this short break on the Triton Nation Network.
It went dead on him because of the inning. 23.
Leading up the yellow jacket fourth. Catcher Ted Elsner.
Elsner comes up to try to lead it off. Grinnell is working here, but you can see, we noticed in the second inning, he got that line drive off the right leg. And you can see he has shown some signs of tightness. And honestly, these long rallies that his offense is putting up, they're great for run support, but they're not great when you're working with that leg, trying to keep it loose. He does have to sit down. It's a bit cold weather. So the first few pitches, you can tell of each inning, he's a bit tight before he can start to work into it. Is walking with a bit of a gimp, but nothing major. Still obviously favoring that right leg. He's going to have a giant bruise today no matter what. It doesn't look like there's any further damage, but for now he's going to have to try to work through it. He will have a bit of relief if he needs it this inning as he works this count to 3-1. Matt Stone is warming up over in the bullpen down the left field line.
And there is action also in the Rochester pen.
This one inside, finds the plate. Good pitch by Grinnell. Gets him right back in this at-bat, 3-2. So 3-2 count. The base is empty here to start this inning. This one off the handle of the bat, foul. Bit early on the inside pitch, jammed him. Elsner doubled in the second inning. So one of the only Rochester batters able to find some success. We didn't mention before, Grinnell has mostly cruised through this. The last inning he gave up a couple base hits that didn't really come off a very square contact at all. One ground ball that snuck its way into right field after being deflected, and then one pop fly that no one could really track down. And there, the 3-2 pitch goes a bit low, and he'll put the leadoff batter on here. So you wonder how long the rope is. There is a 5-run lead. But with Stone warming up and that right leg starting to bother him, you wonder how long they're going to allow Grinnell to continue.
And Rochester with 11 walks. Grinnell, that's his first walk of the game.
He's been able to keep himself ahead. And again, he gets up ahead. That one might not be exactly where he wanted to put that. They were aiming outside with a changeup, but gets a strike with it. 0-1. The pitch coming. Kicks and deals, and this one grounded back up through the middle. Shortstop charging. Able to get one. They're not going to get two. Monty gets one with the flip, unable to turn the double play. It wasn't quite hit hard enough. So no time, but they will cut down the lead runner. One down here. Top of the fourth.
And that play keeps the double play in order.
It does. It's always important to try to chase that lead runner while you can. And you can see Monty was thinking trying to turn the double play, but just wasn't hit hard enough. Couldn't get it out of his glove on time. Squares up to bunt.
It was a great choice by Franco not to throw that ball instead of just throw it into the seats and see if he can get the double play anyways.
Absolutely. Decision making sometimes is about the throws you don't make. And here comes the pitch. Working with him. This one off the tip of the bat, foul. 0-1. Palmer working 0-2. He snuck the first one over. This to Miller. He's got an F9 on the day. He's flown out to right, but it was a impressive fly out to right. He was feet away from, at that time, tying the game up with runners on first and third. Now he squares the bunt around. Able to get to it, flip it over. Did they get it on time? They did. They get him by half a step. A beautiful defensive play there by Gassner. Not an easy play to make for a right-handed catcher when the bunt is laid on that side. Has to scoop that thing up barehanded, and then he has to turn his shoulders. But he was still able to get it in time. Great display of a gun, and now Iowa Central, a runner in scoring position, but with two down. Now Rutledge coming up. Struck out looking and grounded out to third so far today. This one coming. And you can see on that one, that's where the right leg starts to bother. He got up to that balance point. It almost looked like that right leg kind of rocked back a bit. Again, he got pegged by a line drive early in the second. He's been kind of dealing with some tightness and discomfort in that right leg ever since. It's 1-0. The kick and the deal. It's a great fastball over the outer third. Was up around the belt, but at that velocity, as long as you can get it over, you're going to have a chance to sneak it by him. 1-1. Two fastballs to start off this at-bat. Might be looking to go to the hook. Runner on second. Nope, going to stay with it, and he gets him swinging.
Let's go, Zach.
And you know, that one, really a bad chase by the batter, especially considering that it was a straight fastball down in the dirt. Must have had him looking for something else. 1-2. See what he goes to for the put away. Looking for it. This one put up over to left field. Boys tracks him back, but the wind only able to blow it back so far. It was carrying for a bit, but eventually dies. Boys able to get under it. Iowa Central will collect it in F7 for the final out of the top of the fourth. We'll be right back after this short break on the Triton Nation Network.
fourth, shortstop, Nolan Monty.
Now coming up to lead off his second inning of this game, Monty digs in. Last time he led off, Iowa Central batted all the way around, and he was the last out of that inning. Now he'll try to start another rally here where Iowa Central up 7-2. Takes that first pitch for a ball. Takes a big cut. At the second pitch of the at-bat, pops it back into the foul net, 1-1. 1-1. Monty. Pretty much par for the course for Iowa Central. A couple of walks on the day. Grounded out once. So, basically, Iowa Central, as we mentioned before, it's not going to be a day that's great for your batting average, but the on-base percentages are juiced. I do believe that at this point, we're working on 11 bases on balls from the Rochester pitching staff. So it's been a rough day trying to find their control.
Yep, 11 walks, and it's 3-1 on Monty right now. Could add another one right here.
In 3-1, he's going to have the green light,
And
but
he
he lets it go by.
And that's number 12.
And that was great plate discipline, because that was a ball that was belt high, but it was a bit outside, and he take 3-1. Sometimes a batter will be tempted to take as big of a cut as he can at it because he have another pitch, but nope, he takes the safe bet, gets himself on his second walk of the day. Boys up. Oh, pardon me, Gasner. Boys sitting in the on-deck circle.
So now Machino, the starting pitcher, and now Fletcher, both with 6 walks.
6 walks, and I do believe 5 of those runs, correct? You have the book in front of you. 5 of those runs do go to Machino.
Yeah.
2 of them have been Fletcher's responsibility.
That's correct.
So now working the 2-0. There he gets one over. That was a critical pitch.
Yeah.
Not to fall down 3-0 again.
Needed that.
So now he'll try to work his way back into this count. He's really been favoring that sweeping curveball, but he hasn't been getting many calls on it, especially trying to sneak it back door. That fastball was high and rising, and it never came back down. 3-1.
And as I look, Tritons 7 runs on 3 hits, and that says a lot to the 12 walks in this game.
And Gasner again has reached on there and walked, and he'll take another one. The runner was going, but it's not going to matter. That ball out. It was a good opportunity. And how about this? Monty has gotten some great jumps. Hasn't been allowed to get a stolen base yet. He's got 3 times where he took the jump and would have been safe, at least by how good of a lead and how good of a jump he got. Hasn't allowed to be able to put a stolen base up yet as they have this meeting, and it looks like that's going to be the end of the day for Fletcher. So we're going to close the book on him. The only potential that he has to let this day go from bad to worse is that Monty now is standing on second, and it's his responsibility. Both the runners now his responsibility. Gassner on first, Monty on second.
And it looks like the new pitcher's number 22, Landon Kiefer.
Yep. But Monty has attempted 3 stolen, has taken off for second from first 3 times, and has had 2 foul balls and a walk on him. So now as we try to get the number here, it will be Landon Kiefer coming in as the second relief pitcher of the day for Rochester. And as he warms up, he has really he's only 1 walk away from inheriting the same situation that his predecessor Fletcher did. He'll come in with runners on first and second and nobody out, which isn't a great situation, but Fletcher came in with the bases loaded and nobody out.
Now pitching for the Yellow Jackets, number 22, Landon Kiefer.
So Kiefer comes in. He's going to have to work him out of a bit of trouble. It is an important spot. At this point, they're not threatening, but 5 runs down, you figure you're still 1 big inning away. They let it get any bigger, and you have to start figuring that they're letting the game slowly wander away from them. So an important relief pitch appearance here by Kiefer.
And they'll bring in Kiefer, a lefty, to face the left-hander Nick Boyes.
Left fielder, Nick Boyes.
Which generally is what you want. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way down in these leagues because every team, you know, you have a few more options, and the talent gap between your top relievers and your mid relievers is a bit more. But they have worked it, so they work the lefty-on-lefty matchup. And here we Boys. Boys squaring around the bunt. That one high up, and he lets it go. He got a real good look at that one coming in. He was able to get out of the way. Boys has grounded out and walked twice. Now up early in the count, 1-0. Kiefer, fresh out of the bullpen. His second pitch bounces. 2-0. So the control bug seems to just be running through Rochester right now. Going from reliever to reliever, trying to find a solution. Hopefully Kiefer, for them, can stop the bleeding a bit. But so far, no one's been able to find the plate consistently. And he lets this one go in. It was riding in on his hands. Inside, 3-0. So now, fresh out of the pen, he's got himself down 3-0. 3 straight balls, and Boys, you got to figure, with nobody out and runners on first and second, is going to have the red light here. And he was taken all the way, and they miss high and in. In fact, 3 of those balls were high and in, consistently missing that spot.
And the combination of Fletcher and Kiefer walked them loaded.
So now bases loaded. Fletcher, responsible for the runners on second and third. Kiefer walked Boys just a minute ago. And now a pitching talk. And you got to figure, with the size of these rosters, you have a limited amount of people you can pull. They don't, if they have to play 2 today, they don't want to reach any deeper in the pen than this. Maybe 1 or 2 more pitchers, but you definitely don't have the luxury to start switching out 2 or 3 pitchers in an inning.
And as you say that, they have another one warming up in their bullpen.
It might be a decision they have to make. I'm saying it's not optimal. It's definitely not what you're looking for right now. You need someone to give you a few. Especially because you got another game to turn around and play right after this. Coming up is Diaz. Not who you want to see today.
They take a glimpse down at their bullpen. Looks like a sidearmer warming up.
So Diaz has homered, walked, and flown out. He takes his first strike over the inside part of the plate. Kiefer, that lefty arm slot is generally, you're right, you do generally prefer the lefty-on-lefty matchup, but that breaking ball can be a problem when it starts breaking in on the hands of right-handed batters. This one is left outside, 1-1. Diaz setting up. Looking for a base knock here. You figure it would score 1. And with Boys at first, I can't count the amount of times that I've seen him go first to third on a single and first to home on a double. So if Diaz can get one into the gap, you'd figure it has a great chance to be 2, especially with Boys' wheels. So a key at bat here. 2-1. Diaz leaves that one outside. A well-worked at bat. He's earned a 3-1 pitch.
Kiefer started in front on an 0-1 count. 3 straight balls.
And that means that 6 of his 7 pitches out of the bullpen have been balls. This one over to first. It is going to score. Gassner is going to come around. Boys is going to go first to third. And hey, you know, sometimes they just prove your point right after you talk about them. Boys, good base running there. Read it well off the bat. Has a good bit of speed. Iowa Central.
Now 4 RBI day for Fran Diaz.
Right fielder Stephen Calderon.
They go up 9-2 with Boys sitting on third. And I'll tell you something. He's been throwing that curveball an awful lot, and he's been messing around in the dirt. If one kicks away, Boys is one of the fastest people on the roster right now. Don't expect him to stay quiet over there at third. So they really have to be careful not to let anything go wild. And this one is going to miss high. 1-0.
So those 2 runs go to Fletcher. The next runs will all go to Kiefer, I believe. Yeah.
Yep, Calderon has struck out, walked, and flown out. So still looking for his first hit of the day, and now would be a great time to do it. Especially Calderon, he's batting third. Fantastic hitter. You know he wants to join the offensive parade they've put on so far. He's one swing away from at least putting them up by 8, and he is a mile ahead of the inside pitch there. In fact, if you heard that on broadcast, that metal pop, that was him catching that fastball right on the tip of that bat. So far out ahead of it, he cue balls it foul, and now he's working 2-1. This one coming in, a bit under it. No doubt what he was trying to do with that swing. He was trying to put that in the air over to right field. 2-2.
Still nobody out in this inning.
2-2. Boys is 90 feet away at third. Diaz sits on first. The pitch comes. It's hittable, but he's able to just get that out of the way. It would have been a borderline call if he let it go, but not taking any chances. He gets a bat on that and fights it off. Spoils a good pitch. 2-2. A 2-2 pitch coming. It's been working inside and outside. There he goes low with the breaking ball. Gets him to swing over top of it. Gets a critical first out. Diaz goes down again. So now we're working with one down. Boys still 90 feet away. So Snoocher comes up. He's walked, singled, and taken a hit by pitch. So he's 3 for 3 getting on base today. This one he leaves outside, and he's worked 3 fantastic at-bats. Picked his pitches well. And now he's up ahead again, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch comes. This one grounded foul, out past the third base coach. And Reese, it does bear saying that the 10th, 11th, and 12th runs are on third base, first base, and home plate consecutively. And if Iowa Central does somehow manage to scratch across 3 runs, Rochester will have to answer in the top of the 5th, or they will lose by a mercy rule. So a big couple outs to get, and this one's hit up the middle. It's going to be a chance to turn 2. There's 1, there's 2, and they get their way out of it. So Rochester gets out of trouble before it gets too bad, but they will give up a couple runs and go down 9-2. We'll be right back with the top of the 5th here on the Triton Nation Network.
Designated hitter Jay Slang.
And that first pitch of the inning from Grinnell over 0-1. Working to Lang. Lang reached on an infield single and is grounded out. Trying to work his way on. They need runs desperately here. Working through the mid part of this game. They're down by 7, 9-2.
Let's go, Z.
Iowa Central keeps adding. There isn't an inning yet. Iowa Central hasn't put runs on the board on. So you figure that Rochester has to start answering if they want to start closing this gap. Because it doesn't look like that Iowa Central offense is done producing. And how about this? We mentioned the walks before. I believe we're at 13 from Rochester now, correct?
Yeah.
How about this? Iowa Central is up 9-2, but they're actually losing in the hit department. Rochester has 6. Iowa Central has 4. And this one ripped. They might add to it. Nope. Looks like it's going to be playable out there in center field. Cruising in under it is Martinez. A well-handled fly ball. The F8. And now the ball back in Grinnell's hand with 1 out. So 1 out here.
First baseman Mitch Thomas.
Top of the 5th. Thomas coming up. Thomas grounded into a fielder's choice. Singled and singled. So his last couple at bats, he's been able to find his way on base. Has an early hack here. And as I was just about to mention, he does like to drive that ball the other way. It's where both of his hits have come. And you know, there's a lot of talk in the game today about getting the ball in the air, about being able to get out ahead of it, get that launch angle high, but there's still something beautiful about just a good, crisp, inside-out swing. Here's this one's over to Diaz. Diaz plays it. Cannon corn fly ball into the infield. Whips it over. Now they're whipping around the horn with 2 down. So now how about this? We mentioned that Grinnell worked himself into a bit of trouble. He's pretty much in the exact same situation he was last inning before the wheels fell off a little bit. Pardon me, in the 3rd. When he got the first 2 outs on 3 pitches and then a couple fluke. Yep, and that's going to be it. I was going to mention that he was working high up on his pitch count. So now they're going to bring in the reliever. So he goes. He's going to go 4 innings on 6 hits. Gave up 2 runs, both of them earned. Although, I have to be honest, both of those runs, it's questionable whether you can really call them earned. One, there was an infield single, and then a little Texas Leaguer single over into right center that just fell in between everybody. And then he gave up 1 actual solid bit of contact that entire 3rd inning, and it led to 2. So, honestly, he had a great-looking ERA. He had a great-looking stat line, Reese. I would argue he pitched better than that stat line shows.
I would have to agree with you.
Now pitching number 37, Matt Stone.
So Matt Stone comes in. He's been warming up for most of the last 2 innings, and as you can see, Reese, physically big. He throws from that 3/4 arm slot. Border almost side-armed, but he doesn't come quite parallel. And I'll tell you something, when someone's that big, that strong, and they whip that arm across like that, it gets a lot of movement left to right. It's not easy for a batter to get a beat on. He's a handful. As you can see there, just look at him warming up. The ball flies off his hand. Every pitch he throws essentially has a tendency to cut away from right-handed batters, but as you saw there, he does have a 2-seamer he can throw that'll run in on you too, which makes him extra tricky. Has a little bit of everything, does Stone, and he's coming in to try to close this game out. He'll take the 5th. He is capable of going 3 innings if they need him.
Has the kind of movement like a two-seam fastball like Joe Smith for last year. He was with the Chicago Cubs.
Likes to throw that across his body. And like we mentioned before, his typical 4-seam fastball, when you throw from that sidearm slot, basically becomes a cut fastball. But there, that 2-seamer just out over the plate. Come and get it. He doesn't. Swings right over it. 0-1. Here comes the 0-1. Misses that one low and away.
Go get him, Stone.
Fastball comes in the mid-80s when he really gets on top of it. There, that one bouncing in the dirt. 1-1 here. Stone enters with 2 down. Gets a routine ground ball over to 3rd. Over to Diaz. Diaz stretches out. Fields the ball. Easy 5-3 to end the top of the 5th. And now Iowa Central's going to have a chance to put some more runs on the board and potentially try to close this game out when we get back on the Triton Nation Network. So coming back in,
Aaron Cena.
Aaron Cena is going to take over. Defensive substitute in between. Canada Jr. has entered center field for Rochester. He's replacing Hennessy, who was the center fielder before that point. This first pitch gets over for a strike. Kiefer still dealing. Gave up 2 in the first inning that he came in. This one finds its way over the plate. So now taken. He watches that one. Looked like it was down Main Street. He'll watch it for the 0-2. Now having to protect. Watches that one go. 1-2 and Reese. A rare situation actually here. There haven't been a lot of Iowa Central batters so far today that have found themselves in a hole.
Nope, but they've worked themselves out of it if they have.
And this one, a good breaking ball, but he's able to just fight that one off. Pops it foul. 1-2.
And if you're Kiefer, you just got to find a way to put at least a couple of Iowa Central batters away.
And what you really have to be careful of, I mean, Iowa Central has scored in every inning of this game. They scored 1 in the first, they scored 4 in the second, and then 2 in the third and fourth. And if they put another few up here, the game is over. So you really have to dig in defensively here. They can't have a bum inning again. Up quickly, he's 1-2, and now trying to just foul off until he can get something to hit. This one gets him way out ahead. Chases it down low. Swings over it for the strikeout. 1 down. And as you can see,
Center fielder, Felix Martinez.
Martinez coming up. Aracena hasn't been a great day for him. He's 0 for 2 with 2 walks, but you'll take that. Been able to get himself on base, but after the strikeout, you know that next time up he's still going to be chasing that first hit of the day. 1-0. Working to Martinez. Martinez takes it down towards the shins. 2-0. And now, in every one of these situations, this is where he started to give up hits because he's predictable here. Once he starts chasing behind, you know he's going to have to throw that fastball out over the middle of the plate. That's where he was aiming. But that's been the recipe all day. They've got Kiefer down, or at least it was the last inning when he entered. They get him down in the count, and then they know that fastball's coming. And it's not a bad fastball, but it's nothing special. So when he can sit on it, they've been able to rip it. And when he's missed it, they've done that. He takes ball 4. Looked like that pitch might have caught the outside corner, but the official says no. And now walking over to first is Martinez.
And that's his 4th walk in 4 at bats. So he still has no official at bats today.
Not greedy, not a greedy man. But you know, Martinez, when you're in that, I believe he's batting 1, 2. Yeah, he's in the 6th spot. Your job is just to get on base, be a producer, be a pest, and he's found himself on. You say he hasn't had any official at bats. I would argue, I would spin that a different way. Says he hasn't had any official outs either.
Yeah.
1 ball, no strikes. Here to Franco. Franco playing second base. It's been a pretty quiet day for him defensively. He's had only a couple balls hit his way. He's handled them both. Has also, unfortunately, though, for him, had a quiet day at the plate. He's the only Iowa Central batter not to reach base so far.
Another 3-0 count here on Franco.
He has struck out twice and popped out to second base. So, looking to work his way on. Get something going offensively for him this game. Watches that one over the plate, and there he goes. He finds his way on base, and now with runners on first and second and 1 out, it'll be Monty. And he comes in. He's walked twice. And Reese, we've seen when he's walked, he's been looking to steal. Hasn't found the right situation yet, but he is dangerous when they put him on. Now he'll be looking to bat the runners around. An RBI waiting for him on second in the form of Martinez, who you figure with Martinez's speed, a single pretty much scores him in most situations. So looking for a base hit that would put Iowa Central up by 8. But for now, just trying to get something out of this at bat. He's down 0-1. This one drops over. Good pitch, freezes him. 0-2.
Now if you're Kiefer, you got to find a way to put Monty down right here.
And Monty, I think Monty was looking fastball there. Got his knees buckling. 0-2. This one bounces, and the runners are going to move up as this ball kicks away.
And now trouble for Kiefer.
Yeah, and Kiefer, a familiar sight here. A familiar sight for Iowa Central all day. There are bases with runners on them. There's runners in scoring position, and there's less than 2 outs, which is exactly where you want to be.
And now Monty working the count back in his favor. 2-2.
And he should get something to hit here. This is the pitch where, so far, Kiefer's been willing to give in. He's been throwing fastballs over the center of the plate. He does again. Gets that one fouled off. Count stays still. 2-2 still. So, working a good at-bat, but as I mentioned, I said that's where he starts to get predictable, and he gave in again. Monty almost made him pay. Because I think he's a little bit nervous to try and nibble the corners because he hasn't quite been able to work them properly. So what he's doing in these pressure situations is just trying to force something over the part of the plate, and that one misses high and out.
And it's now 0-2 to a full count here.
And now you know what he has faith in, so you got to start to look fastball away. It's where he's been going in the full count so far. Monty's a good hitter. They give in. He puts it over. It's going to sit right in front of the left fielder. That might score 2. Nope, they're going to hold the second runner at third. Smart decision there. 1 is going to score. Iowa Central is going to go up 10-2. And as I mentioned, that fastball finds the inside corner of the plate, but he has been consistently, and it's something that's been a problem for him because he's had trouble with controls, but as I mentioned, he's also been predictable. When he's needed a strike, he's always, almost 100% of that time, went to the fastball, and Iowa Central is starting to sit on that.
So now Monty, at first, he's the winning run. If he can come around to score in this inning.
Yep, as you just mentioned, that would be the final nail in the coffin for a 10-run rule here after 5. The 11th run is sitting on third, and the 12th run, which would put them up by 10, with no chance to get back, is standing on first. And knowing that, and also knowing that there's 1 out, and 2-0, it is a curveball situation. He hasn't traditionally been throwing the curveball, as I mentioned. He's been throwing a lot of fastball in this situation, but now wouldn't be a half bad time these next couple pitches to maybe think about getting Monty on the move. Lets him chase up an 0, but now that they've seen this, 3 straight balls, I'm not so sure I wouldn't even risk it. Just make the pitcher pitch to him. 3-0 to Gassner. This one over, and they walk him. And that's dangerous because now that goes to the top of the plate. So now Gassner has walked 3 times and reached on an error. So without a hit, he keeps his on-base percentage perfect. For the day, at least. So Nick Boyes, he's made a couple nice defensive plays ranging back and left. He's got a lot of speed. He's been able to cover a lot of ground. Offensively, he's grounded out, walked 3 times. And now there's going to be a conversation because you'd figure, and it's an interesting philosophical debate. Reese, do you play the outfield in so that runner from second doesn't score in a single? I mean, a double, the game's over anyway, right?
Yeah, tough decision.
So I'd say you walk those outfielders in because you don't. I mean, Monty's fast, and I don't think I want to put myself in a situation where a single ends it. So I say you walk those outfielders in. Because, you play the outfielders back to prevent a double, right? But if that double drops, it's going to be 2 anyway. And the game is going to be over.
And they're going to switch pitchers here with 1 out here in the 5th and a game on the line.
And when we do come back, as you mentioned, we're going to come back to this broadcast with the bases loaded. Iowa Central with a chance to score with Boyes at the plate. And their winning run on second base. We'll be right back after this short break on the Triton Nation Network.
Pitching number 6, Marshall Mazinek.
Go, boys. Stay hot, boys.
So bringing in, they've brought in Mazinek, and, well, no pressure in the situation. Less than 2 down, 1 out here, and the winning run is on second base in the form of Monty. This one he brings it in, almost hits Boys with his first pitch. Takes it inside, 1-0. Coming in, Mazinek trying to find something over the plate, and Boys watches this one go. Mazinek throwing sidearm. Not an awful lot of pop on him. Does have a little bit of a move. Seems to be a 3-pitch pitcher. He showed fastball, curveball, changeup while he was warming up. He's down 2-0. We'll see what he goes to here. He goes fastball, and, well, I don't know if anyone wants to talk down there and tell Nick that he doesn't need the grand slam, but he was looking for it. He was swinging to put that one over the right field fence down the foul line. Couldn't get it to go. 2-1. Watches this one go outside. 3-1. And now he's going to have the green light, but I'm not so sure, unless this thing is perfect right down the middle, that he's going to see any reason to take a hack at it.
Yeah.
Struggling to find his location here is Mazinek out of the pen. The pitch. Watches it go in the dirt, and now
That moves. The winning run to third. Still with 1 out.
the run
in the
that
game.
Yep, the run that puts him up by 9 crosses the plate. So now Mazinek comes in. Gassner scores off of the base on balls. Nick Boys gets a RBI. And now Fran Diaz comes in.
That's the 18th walk of the game
Yeah.
by Rochester pitchers.
And quite frankly, you can't put up that number and not expect to get 10 runs. It's been a problem for them all the way through, and now this one misses. And a walk, a hit, a deep pop fly. A lot of situations here that can bring a guy like Monty around, especially considering how fast he is. And he's been flirting a little bit with a wild pitch. This one outside.
And Diaz, a 2-run single to left his last time up.
So he has to be extra careful. He's thrown a lot in the dirt since he came out. I think 2 of his 8 pitches have gone in the dirt. So he has to keep that away because he's 1 wild pitch away from ending this game as well. This one over for Diaz. He rips it. Oh! Absolutely lasered, but good reaction time over there at second base. A great play by Miller saves the game.
Let's go.
So now they're gonna need a base hit to end it. It's gonna come down to Calderon.
Struck out last inning.
Yep, and since then, he's walked, flown out, struck out, and he's probably struck out twice. This one ripped, and that's the ball game. They can walk off. Monty is going to stroll across the plate, and as soon as he plants that right foot on home, this game is over. Iowa Central 10 runs. Rochester in 5. 2 down, so they're going to celebrate, and they'll go into the second game with an awful lot of momentum. But for now, it's just pure dominance. Iowa Central still got out-hit technically. Rochester put up 6 hits. Iowa Central on 5 hits, but 19 walks. Allows Iowa Central to score 12 and win this in the 5th. We'll be right back for the second part of this game, but part of this doubleheader, pardon me. We're playing 2 today, but for this game, Iowa Central victorious. I've been Tyson Strayer.
I've been Reese Webb.
Thank you guys so much for listening. You guys have a fantastic rest of your evening.